जय बोलो भारत माता की जय, महात्मा गांधी की जय, जवाहरलाल नेहरू की जय, भगत सिंह की जय, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, लॉन्ग लिव इंडिया, लॉन्ग लिव इंडिया, ईस्ट और वेस्ट, ईस्ट और वेस्ट, ईस्ट और वेस्ट, जय बोलो भारत माता की जय। Respected parents, my dear teachers and beloved children, and all the Indians, a very warm good morning to everybody, and my greetings on this auspicious 74th Independence Day of our great nation India. Happy Independence Day to everybody. Today is a very special day because never in the history of India or in the history of Oasis we had such a simple celebration, and the cause and effect of this is because of Corona. Today morning I was watching the greetings of Sri Ramnath Kovind, our beloved Honorable President of our India. And I was also watching the Independence Day celebrations at the Red Fort, where our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has offered his floral tributes at the Rajghat, the Samadhi of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji. And he was led by his convoy to the Red Fort to unfurl the national flag and address the nation from there. It was so simple. Like, see, a small organism that cannot be visible even to the naked eye can cause so much fear, and it's a wonder also to this nation and to the world. Sometimes we ignore small things. The smallest things are ignored, but they become so important that they become so costly also. Corona has given the world a different experience, and it has brought in a paradigm shift in the relationships of human beings and the futuristic thinking of the people. And especially the children of this generation would definitely remember what all they are going through or passing through or went through during this Corona time. There are lockdowns, people were shut in the houses, they were not allowed even to come out of the house, streets were closed, cities were closed, countries were closed, nothing was happening. But still, at that time also, when we sleep, if you consider your body as a nation or the world, even when we sleep also, certain organs in the body will function. Our brain functions. It has to make the heart beat and the lungs to breathe. And other internal organs in our stomach have to continue to work. The circulatory system, the nervous system, the digestive system. Certain systems are there which are supposed to function even though the body is at rest. In the similar fashion, our Honorable President Sir was remembering all the people who were working when we were sleeping. All such systems that were working for us, risking their own life. I think we got to, this is the time we generally remember the great warriors and fighters of freedom that who shed their blood and sacrificed their lives for us to get this freedom. But we must also now remember that all those doctors, nurses, workers in the hospitals, all those sanitation workers, drivers, everybody that who really served this nation and the mankind in the world, and who sacrificed their lives serving the people who died and left this world, also should be saluted, and their sacrifices must be remembered and placed at a high esteem. It's very tough. But I must also salute, along with these warriors, apart from these warriors, also a community that is keeping the life of learning alive. Those are none but teachers of the world. Teachers of the world are continuing to serve this world, serve the student community by risking their own life directly or indirectly. And I must also tell you that in our own India, there are more than 100 principals and teachers who died of corona, and really we mourned their death and we salute them for all the contributions that they have made to this field of education and served in this nation in their own capacity. Today, yes, the country has seen lot of invasions. The country has been captured several times by foreigners. We have seen lot of internal struggle, internal disputes, internal wars and battles. But yet, India remains one of the best democracies in this world. And fortunately, we are now, it is looking to be unfortunate, but fortunately, we are now entering into a year that where we have to celebrate the Platinum Jubilee of the Indian independence. That is going to be the 75th year. We are entering the 75th year of this Indian independence. Maybe, I think this zeal, this enthusiasm, which is only confined to the four walls of the home, of the children, of the parents, of everybody in these citizens of this country, I think will be multiplied. Maybe I am able to see not only Oasis ground on the next Independence Day celebration, but the entire country would definitely celebrate this with pomp and joy, having won not only the freedom, but freedom from Corona also. Okay, so a day is definitely going to come. And it is very sad, to see such a celebration without the gods who are worshipped in this temple of learning every day. Who are they? Our children. Our children, we are like pujaris. We come here to worship our gods. Our children are our gods. Okay, this temple of learning is without the God, but at least the pujari is doing, waiting for the gods to come one day or the other day, okay, to bless this abode with their presence. And we are definitely and surely we are happy that the parents are now from March 15th to August 15th, April, May, June, July, August. These 5 months, they are playing the dual role. They are not only the parents now, they are also playing our role. That is the teacher's role. So, I salute all the parents of Oasis and that of India and that of the world who are really emerged and transformed as the dual caretakers, that as parents and that of the teachers for their children. And I also appreciate, congratulate all the student community of our Oasis and that of the world, because they are so cooperative. They are so understanding, like they really know what the world is passing through. And they have started cooperating so much and adopting to the new method of learning, new method of getting connected to the teacher, new method of growing intellectually, not only physically, but also emotionally as well as spiritually. Now, our children's spirits have become more strong. They think that we adults are maybe little scared of this pandemic, but children, they are now ready to challenge. Oh, when we were kids only we have seen Corona. Let any Marona come. We are ready, to face it and Mardalna. They are ready now. Their spirits are so high now. They are thinking, why not I be the one, tomorrow to invent, research and find a medicine or a vaccine for a pandemic like this. Why not I join something, that which can prevent this? And they are thinking also, like if I am the collector of a district or a commissioner of a municipality, if I am a minister of a state for Department of Health, if I am a chief minister, if I am a prime minister, if I am a president, if I am a mayor, how would I be taking care of my countrymen and my area, to be safe, to be clean, to be confident? Children are so well prepared. This Corona I see not only as a devastating pandemic of all the areas, the trade, the commerce, the economy, the employment, everything is affected and is suffering. But still, it is giving way for innovation. It is giving people to become more watchful, mindful, alert and helpful also. Now everybody, they are praying their own God, not only for their own family, but also for the entire world. Now people have become conscious of becoming human. Now we are thinking not only one human being, whether it is Indian, irrespective of community, caste, religion, race, but we are now breaking all these barriers and praying to God Almighty for the welfare and well-being of the entire humanity. Because Corona is not the enemy of one caste, one community, or one region, or one religion, or one nation, but it is the enemy of the entire human race. Now the entire human race has come together. We must also appreciate that we forgot all our internal differences and have become one, united as human beings. My dear parents, I request you to please talk to the children. I request all the teachers, whenever you deliver your lessons, whenever you get connected to the children, I have three important things to share with the parents who are watching. I am very thankful to the parents for your patriotism, for your love for the nation, for your respect for education and your responsibility for the children, for logging in online in these virtual celebrations of our Oasis Independence Day celebrations. Excellent. I really thank you. I really miss those parents who could not really respond and who could not really come up to share this day, because this is a great experience. You cannot really build it again. The child remembers this as a special learning experience. Therefore, I have parents to please understand three things. One is, I wanted to talk to you about, like, a country always fights against its poverty, because the constitution always wants to minimize the differences between haves and have-nots. A developed country is where there are less number or no poor people in that country. That is a developed country. We wanted our India, our Narendra Modi ji wants our India to become one of the super nations of this world. When you wanted to become the third super economic nation, what do you mean by economy? It's all money or richness. Unless all the people are rich, you cannot make a country prosperous or be among the rich nations of this world. In order to make, I wanted to talk to you today these three things. The first one is about poverty. Poverty is lack of money. Why people become poor? Yes, this is a very big question. Why people become poor? Why people remain poor? Is all because of poverty, and that poverty is basically created by learning poverty. What is learning poverty? I'll tell you, learning poverty is having not much knowledge to use for the growth and development of an individual or the family. Okay. Those who have that knowledge, those skills, those competencies, those values and those attitudes, they are the people who are rich in learning. So they are learning prosperous, learning property. I'll come from again this end. From March 15, many students in this country, in the world, not Oasis students, hats off to Oasis teachers, parents and students, but many students in this world, they are away from the teacher, they are away from the school, they are away from learning. What do you mean by that? There has come a learning gap. Learning gap leads to learning loss, because brain is such an organ. Whatever you learn today, a lesson learned today, for about 10 days, 15 days, you don't touch the book, you don't repeat that lesson, you don't talk about it to anybody. Slowly what happens? Whatever is learned is lost. So learning gap brings learning loss. And learning loss is such a kind of a thing. What you forget first is what you lost, what you learned 1 week back, then 10 days back, then 1 month back, then 2 months back, then 6 months back. What all you learned during this period will all be lost. The more the learning loss, the more the learning poverty. That's all. When you don't have the valuable things to use for your needs, that is poverty. When you don't have the information, knowledge, skills, values, competencies, attitudes that can be used for your growth, that is poverty. So learning poverty, we are very successfully able to prevent the learning poverty with the help of our parents and the participation of students. Give a big clap to the parents. Thank you, parents. Our Oasis students are prevented from learning poverty. They are now learning rich. We are continue to maintain the tempo of being learning rich. That's a great gesture from the parents, and like responsible, realizing, knowledgeable, enlightened parents we have. And I'm also feeling sorry about some of the children whose parents are not really caring for the continuity of this. They might be thinking, reasons might be there. They might be thinking, after reopening, the schools may teach this again. No, sir, sorry. Whatever is learned now will help for further learning. Further learning, okay. So that is missing. Some of the children are missing that steps of learning, okay. So the levels of learning will be falling. So therefore, to maintain the levels of learning, levels of knowledge, this continuity of learning should be there. And what happens? 3 losses will be there. The children will not be on par with other students. The students who are now regularly attending these online, phone line, video lessons and classes, now their knowledge is updated, their learning is active, and their, how to learn is all like getting strengthened in their minds. But what about others? Other children. Other children, their learning loss is there. They are not on par with other children. So our children who are not attending the classes will not be on par with other children in the school, in the country and in the world also. Second loss is that like they are losing an opportunity of learning. Teachers are teaching, is it not? Teachers are teaching, but some students are learning and some students are not learning. So these children are losing the opportunity. So they are getting habituated to be the losers, not the gainers or winners. So they are becoming the loser mindset we are developing. And third one is something that instead of investing their interest in learning, they are invested in something else which is not useful but very harmful to them. They will be engaging in certain things which are harmful to them. So harmful things are more tastier than the useful things. So they become detached from useful things and attached to harmful things. That is also a bigger loss parents should understand. So I request all the parents to please see to that our children are never suffered. They never suffer from learning gap. Learning gap is away from teacher, away from books, away from school, away from learning. Learning gap leads to learning loss. Learning loss leads to fall of learning levels, and that will slowly lead to learning poverty. Now it is time. My second thing. First thing I conclude saying, dear parents, it's not now, any time. It's not this pandemic, any pandemic or epidemic. It's any time while being sick or for any reason, if the child has to be away from school, the parents should take care that learning gap should not come and learning continuum should be there and learning loss is always prevented. Now, with appreciation to all the parents, those who have really been encouraging us. There are many parents who are encouraging us, our hard work, recognizing, supporting us, and we are very thankful to you for that great gesture. Now coming second thing. Second is now a new education policy is introduced in our country. Now education is not going to be the same as before. New education policy is introduced. It's called New Education Policy or NEP 2020. Because of that, now the drastic changes are going to come. Earlier, our education system was 10 plus 2 plus 3. That is 10 years of schooling, first class to 10th class, and 2 years of intermediate and 3 years of degree. But now that is completely getting changed. Now we are going to have 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. Okay, so 5 years of formative education, foundation education, that is nursery class, LKG class, UKG class, first class and second class. That is all going to be the foundation. Okay, then 3rd, 4th, 5th classes. 3rd, 4th, 5th classes are going to be the preparatory classes. Okay, then comes 6th, 7th, 8th classes. 6th, 7th, 8th classes are going to be the middle school, and 9th, 10th and 11th, 12th. No intermediate is anymore going to be there. 11th, 12th classes are going to be the secondary education, and graduation is going to be 4 years. Graduation is going to be 4 years. Now basically it is a shift from the British model of education to the American model of education. This is all going to be the American model of education. Like earlier, the British model of education had this system, and it was all graduation plus post-graduation plus MPhil plus research, PhD. But now MPhil is eliminated. Now there is no MPhil after the post-graduation. And post-graduation is going to be either 1 year mostly or 2 years. Okay, with 1 year also. And in graduation, children are going, like when you talk about school education, now all these Anganwadis, Bhalwadis are going to be converted into preschools. There will be nursery, LKG, UKG, first and second classes. Okay. So now the system, they are either going to be merged in the schools or they are going to be independently evolved as schools. No more Bhagwadi centers. All those Anganwadis and Bhagwadis will be given training to become teachers. Okay, no more Anganwadi Karyakartas. Okay. So this is going to be a big change. And from 6th class, it is going to be vocational education also. The children are supposed to go and learn something that which they wanted to really pursue in their life, or at least if they know it, whether they use it for living a livelihood or not, but it is going to be a skill that they have to learn. Say for example, a child who is interested in something like any craft or skill can become. And earlier we had only 6 subjects like 3 languages and 3 but now we are going to have music as a subject, like sports as a subject, cultural activities as a subject, co-curricular activities as a subject. You might be knowing by the time the child comes, okay, to 10th class or 11th class, 12th class, they are going to study 40 subjects. 24 are going to be compulsory subjects. Okay. And there is a provision. Like now examinations are not going to be only at the end of the year. They are going to be semester examinations. The examinations are going to be like every 6 months there will be a semester exam. The child need not remember what all they learned for a year long and write the examination. And they are also going to introduce modular examination. If you want to write one subject, you can write one subject. And there are going to be credits. There is going to be an international, national level, a credit bank, okay, is going to be like started, and anybody, like for example, it is going to be multidisciplinary. No BA, no BCom, BSc will be there. Anybody who wants to choose, you can choose maths along with biology also, microbiology also. You can choose economics as well as microbiology or anything. So, a multidisciplinary, you are going to have an education that is going to be multidisciplinary. So, like in America and European countries, a lot of the countries, the child, if he is interested in 2 things, somebody is interested in commerce as well as science, but they cannot take now. They have to either choose BSc or BCom. But now it is multidisciplinary. Anybody can take any subject combination. The classes are not going to be the course-wise classes, but subject-wise classes hereafter. And in graduation, such a kind of facility is given. If you do 1 year graduation and for any reason you are unable to continue that, you are awarded a diploma, like a certificate course. Then 2 years you have completed, diploma will be awarded, and if you have completed it for 3 years, a certificate will be awarded, and 4 years you complete, you are awarded the degree. Okay, this is how it is going to be. Okay, very flexible way, very flexible way. Technology is going to replace a lot of things. They are going to make a lot of digitalization on par with the and school complexes are going to come. Now in India, the situation is in rural areas, we have some schools, there are more number of teachers than children. Some schools, there are 5 classes, 70 children but only a single teacher. Now they are going to merge all of them and make school complexes, where all facilities will be available to the children. So school complexes are going to come up. Lot of changes are going to come, but it takes time. It definitely takes time. And your DED is going to disappear. Now your BEd is going to become 4 years. Now separate BEd colleges won't be there. Now in regular degree colleges only, BEd course, educational degrees also will be offered. By 2030, nobody who does, like now, somebody has done 1 year or 2 years of BA. Okay, now you have to do it, like some refresher courses must be done so that you become eligible, okay, to be qualified as BEd teachers. All the teachers should get through their TET examinations, okay. Like lot of changes, and mostly research is going to be something very, very important. And every teacher who is in service has to attend regularly some refresher courses, 50 hours, 100 hours of refresher courses, and you have to write a test, and when you qualify that you learn that new knowledge, then only you will be having a renewal, otherwise you will not have renewal. Lot of new things are going to come. Education is going to be something very, very important, very important. Now MPhil will not be there. After 4 years of degree, 1 year of PG, and then directly to research. Okay, this is how it is going to be. This is how it is going to be. You can give it while doing your degree. You can break your degree at any time. Okay, after 1 year, 2 years, you can later on continue it any time. Okay, you can write your subjects any time. And in that credit bank, you are awarded credits. Credits is a system, okay, in the West or rather in America, that if you get these many credits, you are qualified or you are eligible to be undergraduate or graduate. This is all going to come there, and there won't be any examinations for your kind information. Only in 3rd class, 5th class and 8th class, 10th class, 12th class, exams are going to be there. Okay. I will promoting examinations. This is a lot of changes are proposed, but it is still a policy. It's a policy. It's a proposal. Okay, Kasturi Rangan was the chairman of this committee, and it took 6 years. Okay, for this committee. Subramanian was there, he died, and again Kasturi Rangan was made the chairman. 3 education ministers changed. Okay, Smriti Irani was there. Javadekar was there. Now Ramesh Pokhriyal is there. Okay, under his time, this new education policy is introduced. By 2020, it is introduced. By 2025, there is a timeline. By 2030, they wanted to make everybody. By 2030, everybody in the country should complete 10th class. This is the objective, and this is the way. It should be skill-based, but only unless it has promised 6% of GDP to be allotted, okay, but unless the students who are studying in private schools, because lot of money, nearly 60,000-70,000 rupees is spent on a child who is studying in government school, but parents are paying their own money for children to study in quality private schools. So now the government has to realize and start reimbursing. Even if you send to the private school also, okay, it is called DBT, direct benefit transfer. Now, a farmer is given 10,000 rupees per acre, is it not? In Andhra, every parent who is having poor living condition is given per child how much? 15,000 rupees are being given. Why not in our state? Why not the whole country? That is called direct benefit transfer. Okay, instead of giving ration, they are giving to the widows, to the old age people, for the physically challenged people. Some direct money is transferred into their account, isn't it? Including the farmers also. Why not the parents? Why not the parents? The government should make the direct benefit transfer for every child into the child's account. Let the child choose the school. Okay, it should not be given as a scholarship. It should be given as a direct benefit. This is what the schools are demanding in this country now, and with this idea, the third is the schools, private schools associations, NISA, National Independent Schools Association, is now with the slogan of 51 days Andolan, Shiksha Bachao Andolan, Save Education Movement, or Vidya Parirakshana Ujjamam పేరుతో 51 రోజుల ఉద్యమం చేస్తుంది. The very single demand is government should pay for the education of the children going to private schools also. That money should come into the account of the child, and let the child be empowered to choose the school. Let him choose the school. Then definitely the salaries of the teachers will increase. Then the child will be powerful. The schools also will start becoming more competitive because the child is having the money to spend. Okay, so definitely schools also will be. In India, now the average private school teacher salary is 7,000 rupees. We are expecting that the average private school teacher's salary should become 15,000, double. Because many things are becoming double, isn't it? Okay, why not my teachers' salaries in the country become double? Okay, so that should be the demand that we should have, and we request the government. We are fighting for the direct benefit transfer. This is going to, not only the new education policy, but this is going to make a drastic change in the education system. Where teacher is honored, where teacher is respected, where teacher is paid more, where teacher is the aspiration job of many youths in this country, then education develops and the country develops. So long live teachers, let us respect the teachers and the new education policy, unless it aims at elevating the teacher's position, both intellectual, financial, social and spiritual emancipation of the teacher should be done in this country, and then only this country would definitely prosper and grow. And this country, our country India, will become a leading nation among the global countries is only when the teacher is respected. So I request all the teachers in this country to please, there is a criticism also. See, third grade, low standard teachers are teaching the children. Because of that, the standards of the education are not improving. As a report tells, many children, 80% of children, they cannot see a watch and tell where the minutes hand is. They cannot make out the time. They cannot make out the weight. They cannot make out the distance. Okay, this simple calculation, simple reading. As a report tells, okay, like many commissions also and surveys are telling that children in this country, they don't have good standards. Now it is time to elevate the standards, and that is only possible with great teachers and good infrastructure. I repeat once again, the elevation or development of the standards of education in this country only happens with the elevation of the teacher. We need great teachers and good facilities and wonderful funding, okay, that only makes this country implement the new education policy 2020 and realize its objectives and see by 2030 a developed country. And once again, it's a very trying day, it's a very special feeling, I tell you. Whenever Big Master is talking like this, Big Master used to see hundreds of children and parents. Okay, today they see me through the virtual platform, but I am able to, we miss you children, we miss you a lot, and we don't want to miss you further, but still the technology has helped us, okay, to keep abreast our relationship and continue to serve you and teach you. Wish you all the best, and let all of us realize our responsibilities and work towards realization of the aspirations of our freedom fighters. And again I reiterate, now we are now looking forward, working toward not only India, the world is looking forward and working towards winning freedom from this pandemic corona. Let that day come very early, and all those people who sacrificed lives, all those great leaders who have left a great legacy in our national movement, in attaining our independence, be remembered and their footsteps be followed, and let us all rededicate ourselves for our country to be made as one of the leaders in knowledge, in prosperity and in unity. Jai Bolo Bharat Mata ki Jai, Mahatma Gandhi ki Jai, Jawaharlal Nehru ki Jai, Bhagat Singh ki Jai, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, long live India, long live India, east or west, east or west, east or west, Jai Bolo Bharat Mata ki Jai. Thank you.
Thank you.